Good morning, Unity Halton Peel. It's an exciting day. For those of you who are watching on social media at a later time, we're doing a great experiment today. We've got most of our usual membership over at our board president's house, and then there's a couple of us online. And this is our new experiment of doing a hybrid service. And we're just going to trust it's all going to be wonderful. I'm Wendy Carr, your platform assistant and IT person. And our guest speaker today is Reverend Dr. Jane Simmons, who is a longtime friend of this ministry, a longtime friend of mine, and I can't wait for her talk today because I've had a preview of a couple of the slides and it looks really exciting. So let us join together in our Sunday gathering. Our mission is to lovingly inspire transformation and be of service to the world. And our daily word, we actually pre-recorded this so that we would have it easily done for today. And now it's time for our daily word for today. Ruth Ellen, please.
Thank you, Wendy. The daily word for Sunday, June the 8th, the title is kindness. Today, I will be kind to others. When I think of being kind, I am reminded of the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It takes only a moment and no special effort to be kind. I can smile at a stranger, hold the door for the person behind me, or let someone go ahead of me in line. These small acts of kindness bless everyone involved. Other kind efforts may take more thought. I think of how I prefer to be treated. I certainly want to be heard and respected. I want to know my views and opinions matter. I want others to see my value and treat me with dignity. I hold this thought as I think of others. I see people imbued with the Spirit of God. Kindness flows from me to bless others. And from Proverbs 21, verse 21, whoever pursues righteousness and kindness will find life and honor.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And thank you for making yourself available, Ruth Ellen, and thank you, Adrian, for helping set that all up and recording it in advance. And check, it worked. Yay. All right, our opening song is a little quieter, but one of my favorites. Thank you, Adrian, for choosing it. Loving Kindness.
May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you be happy. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease, and may you be happy. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease, and may we be happy. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. And may we be happy. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease, and I am happy. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease. I am happy. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease, and I am happy. I am happy. I am happy.
And in that consciousness of being at ease and in loving kindness, we bring out our affirmation for 2025. We at Unity Halton Peel are blessed with an abundantly thriving community. And by that, we don't just mean our community of gathering, but we also mean our individual lives, that each of us are filled with loving kindness and thriving and untangling cables. And all is well. And we take into that consciousness the blessing for each of us ourselves and for our larger community and for the world. As we move into a time of contemplation and preparation for our lesson, our thought for this month is, I am confident. I am bold and confident. I live with divine audacity. And we hold in our monthly prayer list within Canada, Unity Centre of Winnipeg and Unity Christ Centre of Truth in Etobicoke. Our true affirmations for inner peace. My thoughts are anchored in divine peace. For wisdom, the discerning power of divine wisdom is my inner resource. For faith, in faith, I am free. And for prosperity, freely I give and graciously I receive. And for world harmony, holding my thoughts in order, I serve the world. And now it's time for our guest speaker, Reverend Dr. Jane Simmons. Take the screen away.
Well, hello, everyone. Good morning. It's wonderful to be with you. I feel like I'm sort of witnessing a party. Wish I was there in person with you. It's always good for me to be with you. I always love being with my Canadian friends, but especially so on this auspicious day where we are celebrating our dear one, Wendy, and honoring her for sharing her light with her teaching and all that she does and all that she brings to our movement and to Unity Canada. And she's been a blessing in my life for more decades than I care to remember. But, we go way back. And I just want to take this moment to congratulate you, Wendy, on this honor, and well-deserved. And so I thought it was appropriate to have a talk title of Everyone is My Teacher, since we are honoring that teaching. But it's a little different than we might think, because here's where I'm going to invite us all to explore the very often unpopular awareness that every situation and every person that shows up in our world is a potential teacher for us in some way. And while we typically welcome some of those lessons, the more inspiring, uplifting ones, like maybe one of Wendy's classes, other teachers not so recognizable, not so appreciated. And I'm talking about challenging situations, maybe difficult people that cross our path, Um, those kinds of things can teach us as well. But when we begin to live our lives this way, with the belief that everyone and everything is here to teach me something, becoming curious about what that gift is in whatever form it's showing up, when we follow that, becoming curious about that, we have a mind that's open and receptive and humble and willing to receive the gift. Guess what? We are now earning our black belt in human relations and in interpersonal connection. And, and it is a black belt practice for sure. If we allow these situations to be what they are, then painful, challenging experiences have the potential to actually become miracles in our lives. They go beyond blessing us, they become miracles. And here's why: because we can use them to help uncover any blockages we may have to joyful living. We uncover those blockages, and now they can lead us to a much greater awareness and expression of the divine that is with us. So, what if we did that? What if we welcomed every experience and looked for the gift in it? As I read recently, words written by a monk named Jean-Pierre de Caussade: embrace the present moment as an ever-flowing source of holiness. An ever-flowing source of holiness. I love that. What if we made that our goal today? To be in that ever-flowing source of holiness and being the expression of it on this earth, feeling gratitude for whatever arises, letting appreciation become the lens through which we choose to view our world, and feeling it, feeling what's arising, but doing that without judgment, letting it teach us, seeing it as sacred and rich with potentiality to bless our lives. When we live in that way, we actually begin to cultivate our emotional and spiritual intelligence. We're letting life teach us and lead us and open us up to something greater within. Unity minister and author, beloved friend to many of us, Robert Brummett, defines conventional learning as learning something you know you don't know, like how to speak Russian or how to play the violin. And while this kind of learning is wonderful, it can broaden our horizons, it doesn't necessarily deepen us in any way. Deep learning, on the other hand, is when we learn something that we didn't even know that we didn't know. So it's about having an aha moment that takes us to a deeper dimension, a space where we discover interior spaces that we didn't know existed. We're digging deep here. And where previously unconscious patterns of behavior are revealed to us. And these unconscious patterns may have been running our lives underneath our conscious awareness. Do you know what I'm talking about here? When those are revealed to us in some way, now we can work with those shadowy patterns. It's about the shadow, using self-compassion, self-acceptance, welcoming them into our heart, and now integrating them to bring forth transformative healing as a result of this. That's how powerful this can be. So imagine that this life, we're talking about life on earth, imagine this is the only place we get to experience the whole spectrum of physicality, the whole enchilada, all the ups and downs, the happy, the not so happy, the straight arrow roads and the detours, all of it. It's the whole thing. And what if every single one of those ups and downs, every curve in the road holds a gift for us that we're going to miss if we don't stay present to it? We have to stay present to the present that's hidden in there. And so let's not miss it. I invite us all to stop, if we've been doing that, if we've been missing those gifts, let's work on seeing them, because every passing moment is accompanying us like a friend through life. And it may be a friend that we have ignored or taken for granted, but instead, when we befriend what is, befriend this present moment, whatever is arising, and use it as a teacher, now it gains the potential to be good in our world. It can be good. It can help us to, it actually can become an evolutionary driver in our own transformative journey. It can be that catalyst that opens us up to a greater expression of who we really are. But how do we typically react to those things that appear in our lives that may be challenging, even though they hold a potential to help us to grow? I'm talking about those issues, obstacles, situations, trials of life, things we don't like, do we usually welcome those into our lives? Well, I don't know about you, but sometimes I might not welcome them. I might try to run from them. I might try to avoid the situation, hope it goes away. Maybe if I ignore this, it will magically disappear. You ever thought that? Not gonna, I'm just gonna pretend it's not there. This isn't hell and I'm not hot, one of those. On the other hand, we can also enroll people in our story. I'm very good at that. I can easily convince someone of another's crime when I share my perspective on my side of the story. Here's how I see it. So we can enroll people in the story, but we also might actually fight against it in some way. Shadowboxing, resisting, forcing something to happen, needing to be right, getting even, right? Secretly resenting someone in some way in our minds. I mean, have you ever had someone do something or say something that really triggered some emotion in you, some anger in you, and then maybe you plotted about what you would like to have happen to that person? And you may not have taken any action at all, but in your mind, thought very creatively, actually, of many ways to balance the score. Anybody? Anybody do that? Or is it just me? It might just be me. I don't know. It's likely that I'm seeing hands up. Okay. It's likely many of us have engaged in behaviors like this from time to time when adversity has shown up. The problem is if we get stuck there, it can really stunt our growth, or stop our forward motion in life. It can get in the way of our transformation because we're just kind of stuck in this place of So here's the real test is of whether you're still stuck in this way of dealing with a teacher, is if you ever hear of something not so nice happening to that person. And on the outside, you remain calm, nonchalant, seemingly unaffected by the news. But on the inside, you are high-fiving the universe, with a moment of, yes, divine justice and karma, karma gets you. And if that's the case, chances are good that you probably haven't completely found the gift as of yet in the situation. It can be it can point us to the fact that maybe I'm not quite there yet. I once had a someone unceremoniously break up with me as a teenager, way back when. And he dumped me and he immediately started going out with another girl. And eventually they got married. And I had seen signs of this breakup coming earlier, but I just kept ignoring them. I kept hoping things would improve. But when that breakup happened, I'll tell you, I became inconsolable. Talk about teenage angst and drama. It was all there. I was truly heartbroken. I thought my world had ended and I would never be happy again. This is my life forever, right? I spent a lot of time with my girlfriends thinking up ways to get even with him and with her. How dare she do that to me? Now, I was stuck there for a while, but I eventually got over it. I eventually moved on. Once I had worked through it all, here's what I learned about that breakup. I started to see how much I had bought into a belief that my self-worth was reliant on me being in a relationship, period, but specifically with him, right? And without him, I was, what was my worth without my man? And I saw what could happen when I was in that belief, and now the relationship was no longer there for me. These were big, big lessons for one so young. I will say that. It took me years to be able to really articulate what I had learned, but I saw it very clearly, in my younger teenage years. To be clear, this was not the last time I would need to be reminded about this. It was going to show up again. But it was a defining moment for me in understanding what the gift was that this teacher had bestowed upon me. Now, a couple decades later, I had occasion to run into this man unexpectedly at a party. I hadn't seen him in almost 20 years because when they got married, they moved to another province and I just lost track of him. And I saw him at the party and he told me that his wife had divorced him for another man, that he was estranged from all of his children. And he looked terrible, by the way. You might say the years had not been kind to this man. I didn't even recognize him at first, in fact. He called my name and I just looked at him like, do I know you? And when I realized who it was, oh, you've changed somewhat. Now, did I have a moment of satisfaction? I would be lying if I said that I did not. But it was just a moment. It was a fleeting moment. By this time in my life, I had discovered unity. I was going to Unity Church. I was practicing these principles. I was changing my world. So very quickly, instead of being secretly delighted with all of this news, I noticed I actually opened my heart to this man. I felt true compassion for him. I felt true kindness from him. I love that today's daily word is about kindness. I felt that kindness just exuding from me. And I realized how much I had grown since that breakup so many years ago. I hope so. I mean, going from a teenager to, 30 plus year old woman, I saw some evidence that I had grown. But what had appeared to me a tragedy then, as the end of my happiness forever, there's no hope I'll ever be happy again, it had actually strengthened me. In fact, my broken heart had grown wider and grown deeper. I could feel that. He and I had a wonderful time that night catching up, and we parted as friends, wishing each other well. It was a healing moment for both of us. So gratitude for what is really our appreciation for life itself. You see, and it entails being open-hearted to everything. When we are, now we find the key to unlocking the joy within us. That's the key right there. And because it uncovers a resonant field of energy, and we discover something deeper. We discover our divine connection. We discover this field of infinite possibility, appreciating something, feeling our oneness with it. When we stay in that field of appreciation, a very beautiful path can open for us. But when instead we are resentful, defensive, with our arms crossed, resistant, we create blockages and static that restricts movement on that path to joy. So every experience has the potential to be good in my life. And this practice is for us to view the world through this lens, seeing every person, place, object, event, experience as a potential teacher, realizing we live in a friendly universe. We do. And nothing and no one is against me. That's how we say it in the Simmons household. You may have heard that before. And this is a heart teaching, because what does our head typically say about it, right? The ego just starts chattering, right? This person could never teach me anything. In fact, I could teach them a thing or two. I love Thomas Merton's writing where he goes, we're not very good at recognizing illusions, least of all the ones that we cherish about ourselves. We miss those things. But this is where that recognition shows up, being able to see that when I'm being triggered by something, it's mirroring something within me. And it's mirroring a place in need of my love, self-love, self-acceptance, welcoming into my heart, something maybe I've exiled in my consciousness for years. It's showing me that. It's shining a light on it. But if I'm so busy making the other person wrong, I'm going to miss that golden opportunity to integrate this orphaned, exiled part of myself. I have to get beyond that. And it's the heart that helps me do that. The heart helps me see it differently. Now, to be clear, that does not mean that we ever stay in some sort of abusive situation. Sometimes the gift is for us to grow in strength and say no to abuse and to seek help to get ourselves safe. That is absolutely appropriate. We don't just stay in abuse. It also doesn't mean that we jump for joy when someone we love leaves our life in some way and try to bypass the grief and just get to the joy. No. We need to walk through it all. We need to feel the feelings, but always with the deep knowing that behind it all, there is something here that is going to bless me. There is something here that I will eventually learn from this situation. When I can hang on to that, even in the midst of the grieving, do you see how can you see the difference in that? I mean, when my mother was dying from cancer, our relationship, which was always very close, it deepened considerably, even more in the midst of our grieving, that we were saying goodbye to each other. We didn't take any day for granted, but we felt blessed by every single moment we had together. And we really saw each other with appreciation and with deep love, looking There's something here for me. There's a gift in here for me. And when we learn to look past the labels, when we really see each other, we begin to recognize, guess what? All of us are evolving souls on the path. We are life expressing its infinite forms. All of us. And the judgments can fall away. Forgiveness just naturally arises. Compassion embraces all of life. And we recognize the mirror. You see, we shift from asking the question, what's wrong with this picture out here, to what's happening within me that needs loving right now? How can I turn up the love in myself? This is sort of a form of ho'oponopono, if you're familiar with the Hawaiian form of forgiveness, where you see something out there, but you find it in here and give it here. And now you stop seeing it out there. It's very powerful practice. So it becomes about self-forgiveness, self-compassion, and stopping beating ourselves up. Anybody here do that? Condemning yourself and beating yourself up? We want to stop doing that because it's all about forgiveness and compassion and acceptance, and those things can change our world. And our world needs changing right now. Like an infant with a dirty diaper, it needs changing. So there was once a man who had a disagreement with his brother. And they were neighbors, and they had a big dispute about a stream that bordered both of their properties. And the arguing between them just kind of escalated. It grew so intense, they finally just stopped talking to one another at all. And a wedge just kind of grew wider and wider and wider. And finally, the elder brother decided, I'm going to build a nice tall fence so that we can't even see each other. And he thought, as long as there's an invisible wall between us, we're going to create a real one. So he hired a traveling carpenter who was visiting the town, and after instructing him on how to build this fence, the brother left to go on vacation while it was being constructed. He was quite a coward, as it turns out. And upon his return, he saw his younger brother coming to greet him, expecting a fight. He prepared to defend himself. To his amazement, his brother had tears in his eyes and embraced the elder brother, asking for his forgiveness. And the younger brother said, what you have done is such a symbol of forgiveness. I am so ashamed of my past behavior. Please forgive me. And he wept. Now, the elder brother was puzzled by this behavior, but he stayed silent until he reached his home. And there, instead of the fence he had ordered, stood a beautiful bridge linking the two properties. And the feud, it is said, ended right then and there. And the carpenter was asked to remain in town and continue to bless the people with his goodwill. But he replied, no, he had to move on. He had other bridges that needed building. So this is part of the work, is building bridges. The Course in Miracles tells us, in my opinion, this is one of the most beautiful pieces from A Course in Miracles. The holiest spot on earth is where an ancient hatred has become a present love. The holiest spot on earth. And that holiest spot can be our heart. When we shift something in our heart, that is the holiest spot on earth, where an ancient hatred has become a present love. So are there fences that need dismantling in your life? Building a bridge is being the way of God in action. It's the willingness to see the situation from another perspective, seeing it another way. And it's giving the person or the situation the opportunity to be the teacher in your life. And life itself is our greatest teacher. So it's all about teachability here. That's a key factor in our transformative process, and it takes humility and openness and willingness to learn and those are our greatest assets in discovering who we are, why we're here, how we can grow into the next grandest version of the greatest vision you've ever held of yourself, as Neil Donald Walsh puts it. The grandest version of the greatest vision you have ever held of yourself, growing into that. He also wrote, all that appears in your life is a blessing, presenting you with a greater opportunity to find who you are, to know yourself as that. So if we treat every situation, every encounter, every triggering moment as an evolutionary driver, a golden opportunity to grow and expand, then everything becomes our teacher. So the practice consists of meeting each life experience with the attitude that this experience is my teacher in some way, especially when you encounter some circumstance or person that triggers annoyance, judgment, resistance. Pay attention to that. And then with openness, compassion, an attitude of wonder and expectancy, be willing to see what it's teaching you about yourself. Stay curious. Stay interested about why this is triggering you in some way. What within you needs your love right now? Listen and learn from what arises while remembering everything is my teacher. So don't be fooled by whatever's appearing. There's a gift present, and we are all open to receiving it when we look at life this way. So you remember the affirmation that Emma Curtis Hopkins shared with us so many years ago? When we're having trouble seeing the good in what's showing up, goes like this. This too is good. This too is God. And I demand to see the blessing in it. So I'm going to invite us all to stand as we are able. Now, when you do this affirmation, you have to put one hand on your hip and get your finger up like this. We're going to do this with a little bit of sass, right? If you remember David Owen Ritz's Keys to the Kingdom, he'd have people getting up and doing this. So I'm going to invite us all to say it together. If you're going to stay seated, but put your hand on your hip anyway, and let's get ready. Are you ready? Let's say it together. This too is good. This too is God, and I demand to see the blessing in it. So are you up for this? Are you ready to stay open to the teaching that is showing up for you in the moment? Ready to mine the gold that is in this present moment right now? Whatever it is our teacher, and spirit within our hearts is the answer to mining that gold. So let's take a moment right now and mine some of that gold as we move into meditation, time of meditation. And I love that we started with the loving kindness meditation. What a beautiful opening that is to our hearts. And so I'll invite you to get settled in your seat. And let's put aside any cares or worries that we've had on our minds, any thoughts of what's to come yet or what we've been doing so far today. We just want to land and let this present moment be our friend. We want to feel ourselves accompanied by the presence here now. And so we sink our awareness deep within the body, focusing on our breathing, letting it just anchor us in this present moment. And I'll invite you to put your hand on your heart if you choose, as we imagine breathing into the heart space. Feel yourself breathing into that space. And as you do, bring into your awareness someone that you deeply love, a beloved person in your life that when you think of him or her, your heart opens in gratitude that they are in your life. And let that feeling of gratitude grow and expand. Feel it moving beyond the heart, moving throughout the body. This is a high vibration of appreciation that we are radiating. And it's touching every single cell of our bodies, blessing every cell, invigorating every cell. This healing vibration fills our bodies and moves beyond the body. as we create an energetic field of gratitude. And we continue letting it grow and expand and radiate beyond the walls of the room you find yourself in, and outward to bless our world. Every one of us is here to be the one to make the difference in our world, to be the presence of love, gratitude, compassion, kindness. And as we allow life to teach us, to show us places within where maybe we are not coming from our full heart, and then loving, sending ourselves love. And if you're feeling any of those things within yourself now, send love, compassion to yourself. Self-compassion can open us up. We get beyond the egoic beliefs that may keep us limited. And we move right into that soulful place within us. Feeling our divine connection. So we breathe into the heart and we let it radiate outward, blessing all those around us. May all beings be at peace. May all beings be kind to themselves. May all beings be the presence of love on this planet. And so it is. Amen.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Thank you, Rev Jane. That was wonderful. Um, I learned a few things. I got a few new quotes to add to my toolbox. And we will love and bless and appreciate you as you take a break from being with us for the summer. May your journeys be wonderful. May you make lots of wonderful memories. As always, our Unity Prayer Chaplains are ready to support you with your prayer request or intention. And you can email praywithdiane@gmail.com, and our prayer team would be happy to and blessed to pray with you for the next 30 days. And then we send the request to Silent Unity, where they receive an additional 30 days of prayer. As always, thank you in advance for your financial gifts. You can send through accounting@unityhaltonpeel.ca, or you can go to our website. We have quite a few ways to share with us, and we are so grateful. And let us join together in our affirmation. Divine love now flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and is a blessing wherever it goes. And so it is, and it is so. Next week, I'm really pumped. My friend and colleague, Judy Murakami, actually she's LUT, not a Rev, but that's okay. She's going to be pulling out some thoughts from our the book that we used during our Unity Canada conference, Presence and Potential, by Reverend Dr. Martha Creek. And she and I have been talking about what she's going to cover, and I'm really excited to welcome her to Halton Peel. The following Sunday, we will welcome back our own Reverend Mary Wood, and she's going to talk about patience in the altitude of our attitude, and bringing some thoughts from our co-founder, Charles Fillmore. Then our own Debbie Long will round out the month with There Is No Spot Where God Is Not. As always, we share our gifts with Eden Food for Change and with Unity Canada. If you're watching on social media and you're still with us, please join our newsletter, and then you can find out what's happening and what's coming up. And a really great reason to join our newsletter is because we're going to have more in-person gatherings. And stay tuned for dates and details. We are working to find ways to reconnect. Now that COVID it's not gone, but it's not as much of an issue as it was 5 years ago. And now it is time for our children's blessing, and I invite you to imagine the children in your family, in your life, in your community, and in this world. And together we join with the words, children and youth of Unity and of the world, we love you, we bless you, and we appreciate you just the way you are. And we bless our inner child, knowing that within us, we are still children who are teachable. And as we bring our gathering to a conclusion, let us join together in the words, the light of God surrounds us, I am light. The love of God enfolds us, I am love. The power of God protects us, I am power. The presence of God watches over us, I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, I am divine. And as is our tradition, Sue K. Riley's going to sing us out.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us, that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace in my family is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one loving family, sharing one sun. I choose love. Yes, I do. Peace for our planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one. One choice unites us. Let this be the one. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love.
Thank you for joining us today. We look forward to greeting you another day. In the meantime, be blessed, be peacefully prosperous, and may you have a wonderful day.